Hello, everybody. I'm River from the Portland City Gym. Still not editing this part out. Um, so today I'm going to be going over Tomb of the Tomb, Boom of the Boom. Um, that's another deck I still have to make. Jeez. Um, so but as in like what deck I was just talking about, you'll see later. It's a project of mine. Um, today we're going to be going over Spiritomb. Now, a lot of Spiritomb has gotten a lot of stuff from Darkness Ablaze. Um, One thing it gained was the Cape of Toughness, probably the most significant one. Actually, I think Cape of Toughness and Spike Myth are kind of tied as for which one was more significant. So Cape of Toughness, this is the basic Pokemon that this card is attached to. Sorry about that. Just 8. It says the basic Pokemon this card is attached to gets 50 plus, gets plus 50 HP, except Pokemon GX. Now, of course, Spiritomb is not a Pokemon GX, so it gets an extra 50 HP. Now, how is this significant? So, Spiritomb, for those who don't know what it does, has an ability where once during your turn before you attack, you may put a damage counter on Spiritomb. Now, how on earth is that relevant? Well, has an attack called Anguish Cry. For 1 dark energy, so pretty cheap attack. It does 10 damage and does 30 more for each energy. For each damage counter attached on this Pokemon. Talking is difficult, guys. I'm telling you. But basically, so Spiritomb originally could only have 5 damage counters on it, which means that it could do 160 damage, which knocked out things like the Dene. So when it came out in Unbroken Bonds, it did get like some degree of like roguish hype. However, it never really lived up to it. It kind of just kind of faded out of existence. Then come the Limitless Q, whichever one it was. There was a popular Spiritomb ADP list. I don't think it won, but it did gain some popularity just from the fact that it was Spiritomb. So it kind of surprised everybody. Now Spiritomb ADP, though it did do well, most of that was kind of just RNG based. The deck itself, like it as an archetype, isn't that good. Not questioning the player's skill or anything, just that the archetype in of itself has some major inconsistencies. So it really does. It is a highly skillful deck. However, the player did manage to make it to top 32 of the Limitless Q, whichever one it was. So it obviously showed some complicated yet obvious promise. Now, come what I'm pretty sure was the Players' Cup. No, it was a different Limitless quarter. So then Spiritomb Beasts. In my opinion, the superior and funner form of Spiritomb. It was basically just Spiritomb with Rainbow Energy, Beast Energy, I think Aurora Energy, I can't remember. Combined with a bunch of Ultra Beasts and Beast Energy, obviously. This included, I'm pretty sure, Pheromosa and Buzzwole GX tag team. Buzzwole, it included Ultra Beasts. I know it included the Cephalon as well. So it did include a good amount of stuff. And it was just Spiritomb as the main attacker, with the Ultra Beasts as kind of like tech cards. Now, here we have Turbo Spiritomb. At least that's what I call it. Now, this list is extremely similar to a list that Andrew Mahone posted time ago. I forget. I think it was only like a couple hours. But when I saw the list, I was like, wow, I really like the concept. So I'm going to go ahead, change it up a bit. I don't want to copy him exactly. But this is pretty similar. I built the deck. And one major thing that I changed was I took out the 2 Hoopas. Now, the 2 Hoopas were kind of what made this deck, you could say. it was called Spiritomb Hoopa. Now it's just Turbo Spiritomb. It is 100% Spiritomb, all the way. No, no like not pretending, no like secondary attacker, no nothing. It is pure Spiritomb. And we play 4 copies of that. Two copies of Jinx with Ominous Posture. Basically, just once during your turn, you can move a damage counter from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. Nice. And we play 2 of those because 2 is more consistent than 1. 4 copies of Jirachi because it's Jirachi. 1 Dedenne because it's Dedenne. 1 Oricorio because Spiritomb is going to get knocked out every single turn without fail. I mean, in an ideal world, we have 10 damage counters on it with only 110 HP. Only 10 HP left. Literally, like, I don't know, Rowlet in the Decidueye deck with its attack could probably knock this out. Depending on the Rowlet you use, of course, but that could probably knock this out with ease. It's just 1 energy attachment. It's pretty sad, but, yeah. So, Oricorio is definitely very, very helpful for that. Also, just most of this deck in general is a 1-prize deck. Spiritomb, Jinx, Jirachi, Galarian, Zigzagoon, and Marshad are all 1-prizers. Of course, Dedenne and Oricorio are not. So, Dance of Tribute just makes a lot of sense in this list. 1 copy of Galarian Zigzagoon. Now, Spiritomb at max, if it has 10 damage counters on with Toughness Cape, it only can do 310, which is not enough. However, if you just kind of bonk it with Headbutt Tantrum, it's just 10 damage, you know? It's just 10 damage, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's it. But no, seriously. Headbutt Tantrum combined with Scoop Up Net can set up some serious KOs. 310 is obviously not enough. Once the new Leon is released in Vivid Voltage, we're probably going to end up playing that. But for now, Galarian Zigzagoon is probably the best damage modifier in the game. Combined with Scoop Up Net, of course. Then for supporters, and then lastly, Marshadow from Unbroken Bonds with Resetting Hole. Basically, just discard a Stadium card. There you go. It's just discard a Stadium card. We rely on Spikemuth. We don't like Chaotic Swell. Discard a Stadium card. Next up, we play 4 copies of Birdkeeper. Combined with Spikemuth, Birdkeeper adds a switching option and a draw 3, which is very, very strong. 4 copies of Professor's Research to discard your hand and draw 7. And then 4 copies of Boss's Orders, because it's gusting. Now, 4 Boss's Orders may seem like a bit much. However, once one Spiritomb is knocked out, it is very, very difficult to get another Spiritomb fully loaded at the same it's very difficult to get another one fully loaded when you used your switches, your bird keepers, your scoop up nets on Spiritomb, or not on Spiritomb, but just charging up Spiritomb. You know, all your switching cards used up, powering up Spiritomb. It's harder to draw into them. So Boss's Orders makes it so that we don't always have to load up a full Spiritomb. Remember, you only need 5 damage counters in order to knock out something like a Dedenne, and then 6, given that you have a Toughness Cape, 6 in order to knock out a Crobat, and let's see here, and you only need 3 in order to knock out an opponent's Oricorio. So, Boss's Orders definitely really helps to recover from that Spiritomb loss that you will most definitely be having a lot. 4 copies of Quick Ball because it's Quick Ball for Scoop Up Net to scoop up mostly Galarian Zigzagoon and Jirachi. I guess you could scoop up Jinx if you really had to, but yeah. Then 4 copies of Switch. It just makes sense. We're playing Jirachi here. Rely on Switch for Spikemuth. It just makes sense. 4 copies of Cape of Toughness, because Spiritomb needs to build up. It needs to have more HP so that it can do its damage. It just makes sense. 3 copies of Great Ball. This is just to help search out any of our other Pokemon. 2 copies of Ordinary Rod because Spiritomb dies very, very easily, as I've mentioned. And since it's your only attacker, you know, in case your opponent knocks out more than 4, it'd be really nice to be able to get them back. It's just nice to get them back. And then for stadiums for Spikemuth, basically it says that whenever a player's active Pokemon moves to the bench during their turn, put 2 damage counters on the Pokemon. So Spiritomb's in the active, gets switched out. Nice. 2 damage counters. Promote like a Jirachi or something, Stellar Wish, and then scoop it up with Scoop Up Net. Promote Spiritomb. I don't know, switch again maybe. Then, you know, just repeat this process until you have a knockout. Of course, you have Bird Keeper, Scoop Up Net, Switch. Between those 12 switching cards, I think you can get by. And then for energy, we play 4 copies of Hiding Dark Energy. This also really helps with the switching process because it says that as long as sorry, words are difficult. I've established this. It says that as long as it's attached to a dark Pokemon, it supplies free retreat. So, Spiritomb is going to have free retreat into, I don't know, something, which will basically just give you an extra switching option, basically meaning that in one turn, you could theoretically, now keep in mind this, it's theoretically, switch up to 10 times. Of course, that's a lot more than you need to. But 10 times. Oops. So that's why Hiding Dark Energy is here. Also, you never know when you might need to retreat a Spiritomb into something else, like a Jirachi. So Hiding Dark Energy, there's really no reason to not play it. And then 5 copies of Basic Dark Energy. This is just so that we can hit it more consistently. Because, you know, whiffing your energy kind of sucks. You know? It's just that it's an extra little tech to help you beat other decks. It's called energy. I can't remember who I stole that joke from, but I stole it from someone who was in a Discord chat somewhere. Anyway, thank you all for watching. And as always, I'm River from the Portland City Gym, still not editing this out, and signing out.